Okay guys, how you doing? Here is a video key for your solving literal equations practice, which is like when we solve equations for weird variables. On number 1 here, we're going to solve for r. So we got to get this r by itself, which means we got to get rid of the 2 and the pi. So in a single step, we can divide both sides by 2 pi. And when that happens, those cancel, and we're left with c divided by 2 pi equals r. And that's all you have to do on that one. On number 2, we're solving for x. So on this one, we got to get rid of the division first of 2z. So to get rid of division, we multiply. I'm going to white out this 2 so we don't confuse it with part of the problem. So we multiply both sides by 2z times 2z over here, and that cancels these, which is what we want. So we can get x by itself, and you get x minus y equals 6z. And then add y to both sides. So we add y here, and we get x equals 6z plus y. Notice how on this problem we got x equals, and over here we have equals r, like r is on this side of the equal sign. That doesn't matter. You can get x or r, whatever variable you're solving for, by itself on either side. It makes no difference. All right, number 3, we're going to solve for n. This is similar to what we're going to do in the next section, which is when we solve equations for y so that we can graph them easier. But to solve this for n, we're going to subtract 4m to get the n by itself. Now something weird does happen here because we still have this negative sign. So we have negative n equals 1 minus 4m. Now when that happens, mathematically, you can either multiply both sides by negative 1, but when you multiply by negative 1, all that does is change the sign of everything. So really, we can just change the sign of everything and get n equals negative 1 plus 4m. So there you go. Solve this one for y, so this is exactly like what we're going to do in the next sections. Solving for y, we got to subtract 2x, and we get negative 4y, don't forget about this negative sign right here, equals 8 minus 2x. And then we can divide everything by negative 4. Again, we got to divide by a negative because of that negative right there. So you can either divide the whole side by negative 4 or divide each term by negative 4 on this side. I'm going to divide everything by negative 4 like this instead of like one big thing like that, which is the other way you can do it. Because when I do it this way, then we can simplify it a little easier, I think. It's easier to see what we can simplify at least. So over here, these cancel, which is what we wanted. So you just get y equals, and now you can go ahead and divide. 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. And then here we have negative 2 divided by negative 4 is positive 1/2. So you get positive 1/2 x. And this is actually the equation of a line that we should be able to graph now, which we'll be learning soon, if not already. Number 5, we got to solve this for b. So the first thing, this is like number 2, where we have some division here, so we multiply by this. We're going to do the same thing here. We're dividing by 4, so if we multiply both sides by 4, that's going to go away. I'm going to white out this problem number. So multiplying this side by 4 also, leaving us with 36a equals 12a plus 3b. And then since we're solving for b, subtract 12a from both sides so we can work on getting the b by itself. And that gives us 24a equals 3b. And finally, we divide both sides by 3 to get these 3's to cancel, leaving us over here, we can actually divide 24 divided by 3, which is 8. So we get 8a equals b. Okay, and finally this one's a little different. Most of you probably did distributive property first, so I'm going to do it that way. I'll show you 2 ways for this problem. So if we distribute first, you get s equals 180n minus 360. We're solving for n, so now add 360 to both sides. Add 360, and we get S plus 360 equals 180n. And then divide both sides by 180. Now I'm going to show this one differently than I did the last one. I'm just going to divide this whole side by 180, just so you can see the two different ways you can do it. The 180s cancel over here, and you get S plus 360 all over 180 equals n. So that's one way to do it. Or we could do it this way, where instead of there we go. Instead of distributing, we can, let's use different colors here, orange. We can divide by 180 right away, like this. And so you get S divided by 180. This 180 cancels, equals n minus 2. And then to solve it from there, you just add 2 to both sides. I think this way is actually a little easier, but I think it might be harder for students to understand because it's not typically how you do it. So you get S over 180 and then plus 2 afterwards like that equals n. So that's another way to do it. I don't care which way you do it. These two answers, even though they look different, I assure you they actually are the same. If we were to simplify what's in green, we would get exactly what's in the dark blue. And there you have it.